Hello everyone, my name is Trittany and I'm the reader here at the Crown and Castle Collective, where we can all be the rulers of our own kingdom that we call life. And this is actually the monthly horoscope for all air sign energies of Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius, whether it's your sun, your moon, or your rising. We'll be taking a look at June of 2021, what's kind of your overall energy, your greatest accomplishments, your biggest challenges, and just the spiritual advice for you throughout the month. Also, what's going on in your head space, your heart space, your career, finance, education, and just your overall spiritual development and your creative abilities. So I do want to, of course, give a warm welcome if you are the first, if this is your first time and you are new here, thank you for joining me. I like to do pick a card readings as well as these monthly horoscopes. I'm also broadening my channel to include more of just who I am as a person, because I'm more than just a reader. So yeah, if you are returning, thank you guys so much for staying with me, and all of the comments, feedbacks, the likes that you guys have given me. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and jump right into your June 2021 overall energies. How are you pretty much just showing up energetically throughout the month? And the way that I like to use this reading is, I hope everyone at least gets a message or two or handful from this. And also I like to take this as kind of the beginning of the month to mid-month, later in the month. Sometimes it plays out that way. We are all on different timelines, so please take these messages as they apply, especially with anyone else you are interacting with. The energies could be vice versa or reversed, so please take them as they apply. And your first card that you air signs are showing up as, we have number 17, Inner Knowing, Crown Chakra energy. This is actually the cover art for this deck, so that's really quite cool. The inner knowing, I feel like you guys are really having a strong sense of self. Maybe you're doing a little bit more of inner work, self-work, where you're starting to feel more confident to display who you are, not only on the inside, but also your emotional self to the outside world, so that you're being quite transparent in a very healthy, self-sufficient, and healing way. So by sharing your own inner peace and your own inner knowing of the universe and the world around you and your experiences, the more that you share them, the more that they bring you peace, and they could also help you with any kind of healing process that you are moving through. And with this crown chakra inner knowing, there's a lot of things that you have on your mind that your gut feeling is pointing you guys in the right direction throughout June. So please follow that path and listen to that voice. We also have, a lot of blue throat chakra here. Number 30, health. Mother Earth, sweet Mother Earth, bring bright. Bring me to your health and might. So this chant, this mantra, you could use to help you during your meditations, especially if health is a very big thing for you guys throughout the month. And I was already kind of picking up on that. A lot of mental health coming through here. This could also be physical well-being. You could simply be just trying to spend more time outdoors. You could definitely be trying to drink more water, release unhealthy habits. That is all really supported throughout the month of June. And I feel like your health itself, you're prioritizing yourself in a very healthy, happy manner. So good job, you guys, for that. Anyone who's trying to face really hard challenges, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I feel like with your transparency that we saw right at the beginning, is that you guys are at such a place of comfort where you're no longer afraid. We also have your greatest accomplishment. So what are you guys succeeding at throughout the month of June? We have the initiation. Rite of passage, you are going somewhere sacred. So I believe this is kind of like the Tower card in a way. But the initiation, you are going somewhere sacred. So your greatest accomplishment is going to be clarified here by the Seven of Pentacles, strength. Interesting. For some of you, you could be asked to move, to physically relocate, to pick up your stuff and, travel and venture somewhere else. Maybe that's a really big challenge for you. Maybe you are really strong with where you are. And now this can apply not only to like your physical living areas, but this could be like your workspace, any other like location that you have, any kind of spot and role that you fulfill right now in your life, that someone may ask you to switch things up, to maybe go a different way, try new things. Someone could even be asking you to be something that you're not, or for some of you, you could be trying to fit in necessarily, and that could be something that's hard for you to do. With this Seven of Pentacles, I feel like this is something that you almost even fight against with this Strength card. Maybe you're trying to be someone that you are not. And that's also why we were seeing a lot of reflective energy come through here, where you're so perhaps proud and comfortable and confident with how much you have spiritually, emotionally, and physically grown in this lifetime, that you're not going to be willing to compromise to this energy with this initiation. Now, for your greatest blockage or biggest challenge is that you could be afraid to ask for certain kind of... My camera just glitched out. Wow. It'll be weird to see if that actually shows up on camera. But you could be afraid to ask for promotions, for some other kind of change around you with the Seven of Pentacles. Again, in your home life, your work life, your relationships. This is Aries energy as well. It could be really hard for you to ask for these really big things in life, okay? So that could be a little bit overwhelming for you. You could feel discouraged that maybe you aren't quite in alignment with this energy yet, and that you aren't as deserving of this yet, this initiation or acceptance of these gifts or of these requests that you have from certain people, the universe, spirit. So that could be really hard for you to deal with, maybe with some self-acceptance of any kind of presence that the universe has to offer you, or to ask for anyone to change or to adjust stuff for you. You could be a little bit afraid to step up to that plate, okay? Now, I think I read that backwards. That's supposed to be your greatest accomplishment. So for some of you, you could be really struggling with this. But for others of you, I feel like you really step into those roles nicely. Perhaps you have a strong sense of self. Therefore, you're able to really become accepted with whatever it is that you are applying for. Now, I'm sensing a lot of nervousness around this. So again, your greatest accomplishment is really pulling and pushing yourself through with the Strength card and applying for those, asking for those, gifts, those opportunities in the universe. And we might see some of that play out to see if it comes back to you. Your greatest accomplishment is stepping outside of your comfort zone and really asking to either join certain groups, committees, applications, things that maybe you had struggled in the past to believe that you are worthy of certain positions and whatnot. Now, for your greatest challenge or your biggest blockage throughout the month, we have number 7, virtue, which is a very aggressive looking card, but also this person is, this god, I should say, is the best at self-control with virtue. And we also have number 20, sacrifice. Okay. So with virtue and sacrifice here, there's a lot of temperament energy. And I feel like with these two cards coming out earlier, the inner knowing and the health card, really prioritizing yourself, your own energies, your own health, mental and physical, energetic health. Your greatest blockage or challenge could really be that self-control element that comes with prioritizing your wants, your needs, both physical, emotional, spiritual. And I feel like it could be hard for you guys to focus in on yourself, and that in order to succeed and keep on moving forward, to accept these initiations and these offers and these blessings coming to you through June, something is going to have to be eventually released or let go, whether that's, a mentality, a mindset, a person, a place, a thing, money, even currency. A lot of you guys could have experiences with, again, we're seeing addictions. I'm also seeing gambling here. But clarifying your greatest challenge or biggest blockage, again, we have number 16, the Tower card, actually making an appearance here. So definitely having to have a clean slate is going to be necessary for you for June 2021. If you're really trying to make progress in anything in your life, any aspects of your life, you're really meant to sit down with this energy and do some true manifesting work and try to think of what it is that you can do less of, what you can remove from your life, whether that's in your busy time schedule, your day, or even in your week, in your spending habits, or just what you might have to compromise in order to move forward with what it is that you're envisioning for yourself. There's a lot of releasing having to happen. And I feel like until you accept and fully move through that energy, these initiations and these blockages, they're very backed up, okay? It's almost like the universe has been sending these towards you guys, but there's not been enough room around you energetically for them to completely integrate into your own energies. So definitely work with that. We are going to step into your headspace, or what's really in the forefront of your mind and in your life throughout June of 2021. These messages are a little bit more broad. We start off with the oracle cards just to kind of tap in, so to say. So, your headspace, air signs, what's kind of going on throughout the month of June. We have the Knight of Cups, Temperance. So I'm already kind of picking up on, again, there's a little bit of this nervousness energy going around in your guys' emotional space. Also in your vocal conversations, perhaps. There's something or someone that you are looking forward to engaging with. And you guys are very joyful, very youthful about this opportunity, this person, so be it. That you're really excited and kind of nervous moving towards. And with the Temperance card also being Sagittarius energy, not sign specific, of course, but that could mean something for some of you. Temperance takes their sweet time. It's kind of a fix-it angel. It could happen today, tomorrow, 2 years from now, 2 months from now, whatever the case may be. And I feel like as you're moving forward, it's kind of inevitable that this acknowledgement or having to have a certain conversation or acknowledge certain feelings is something that's bound to happen for you. There's just some kind of future event in the beginning of the month that you are anticipating. Now, this could also be with health as well for some of you, because we did have it very prioritized, and I hope not, but for some of you, you could be feeling a little bit under the weather in the beginning of the month. And that's just something as you move through the mid part of the month. I'm seeing a lot of water come through, so making sure that you're staying hydrated. Also, just taking care of your physical body. It could be so hard to just take a shower sometimes, and I'm there with you, okay? So just be patient with yourself. But it seems like a lot of your mental health from the beginning of the month, it's almost like you're still flowing through the mental and emotional progress that you've been making, and I'm seeing as we reach mid-month, there's a little bit more mastery of it with that Temperance card being in full balance. So that could be really helpful for some of you who have been facing mental health struggles. And I'm getting that there could be one person in particular that you come forward with this conversation of, what you're experiencing. And this person may just have all of the answers, or this person has all the right things to say to you. It could be family, it could be someone you respect that's older than you, of course. We also have the Chariot card, so we're getting a lot of major arcana out here, a lot of water sign energy with Cancer, Scorpios, and Pisces. And the Chariot talks about forward movement. Again, there could be some kind of event or move, transition that you guys are anticipating, either in the month of June or coming into the future months, that could require you to travel, to venture. A lot of you could be going on a self-healing journey is also what I'm hearing. You could be trying to plan or schedule a trip on your own, or maybe you're going along with some other people, but there's a very deep spiritual calling to this place, to this event. It could be a certain gathering, and hopefully you're doing that safely, but there could be something that's really pulling your soul towards, to maybe help you through a little bit of the emotional trials that you've been facing, I'm hearing. And your greatest accomplishment for the month of June, this initiation, rite of passage, you are going somewhere sacred with that Strength card. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy is out here, and that could be corresponding to the months that you intend to travel. Maybe those are the best months for you to plan on, or days of the week corresponding with those signs. Or Cancer, water and fire energy. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. That is just further clarifying again to me with the Chariot card that this is all three of those major arcanas. With the Knight of Cups, this is a spiritual journey for you guys. And even if you're not trying to actually plan a vacation or a trip or a journey, in your day-to-day life, you're experiencing a lot of healing energy just in and around you naturally. Whatever it is that you guys are doing, if you're sitting down and meditating, if you're focusing more on your energetic self and doing all of those kind of healing modalities, it seems like they're really going to move a lot through you throughout the month of June. And I feel like you guys really do need a clean slate, okay? Something was clearly showing in your biggest blockages and challenges with the Tower card, sacrifice, and virtue. There is something that you could be holding on to. It's almost even feeling like survivor's guilt. Just, a lot of things that maybe you've held on to yourself. I don't see anyone else really interacting with you on these energies. And I don't mean to say that, that no one else was to blame or nobody else was involved. But as far as being responsible for yourself and your energies and how you've carried it forward, it's kind of coming to a close. And in fact, it seems like by the end of the month, things have really changed for you. Things are really moving forward. Perhaps you have a better sense of direction. I'm also hearing you're going to have more options too. So if you decide to hold off until mid to late month to finalize any kind of directional decisions you are making, you're going to have more options, but also too, it just seems like in the beginning of the month, you're just not quite yet in the mental space to make very big committed decisions. So that's not really supported until mid-late month. Also, any travel, I wouldn't really advise it beginning to mid-month, but maybe later on. Okay, we're gonna move on into your love life, your relationships, and more importantly, just your heart chakra, what's kind of going on there. So some of you could have a significant other, some of you could be looking, so please take these messages as they apply there. The first card that we have is the Five of Arrows, frustration, and we have number 14, balance. So this Five of Arrows, frustration, let me just kind of show you what we're working with. And we also have number 14, balance. This could go to say regardless, okay, if you're with someone or not, if you're pursuing someone, there could be a little bit of miscommunication going on in the beginning of the month, and I do kind of pick up on that with the emotional turmoil that's kind of stepping up. Maybe this other person isn't as committal with you or vice versa, and you're really wanting to take things forward, maybe move in together, and a lot of that still seems to be up in the air. There's just not a real balance between these connections. Perhaps you don't feel like your energy is being reciprocated. They're not really honoring or respecting you or taking the relationship as serious. Maybe you yourself feel like this person just doesn't quite align with where it is that you're being called to go in life, or, you know, what exactly it is that you're being called to do in life. Your viewpoints, also just like your styles of communication, can be a little bit different. Your love languages can also be very and vastly different. So that could be a really big challenge for you guys to try to balance. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that it is showing up as a little bit of a frustrating, surprising energy. We also have the King of Cups coming out here. And the King of Bows. Wow. So again, more water and fire energies. And we just picked this up when there's a lot of emotion and a lot of passion involved. It could be specific to you and your signs. But what I'm getting here is that there could be two people in this connection, and they're both coming off very strong, embodied in their masculine energies, with the King of Vessels and the King of Bows. So that could be kind of what's causing this to be a little bit off balance. Now, both sides may need to incorporate more of their feminine or masculine energies in order to really balance things out. One person is a little bit more emotional, coming across as just kind of standoffish, a little bit cold, like maybe they don't want to admit that they are wrong or admit that they could have emotionally hurt you without intending to. Maybe they knew it or not, they still won't really go back on it and look at it and address it and try to fix it. This person's just very stuck in standing still with where they are at in their emotions and viewpoints. And then we also have this King of Bows, which can be someone who feels a lot, honestly. In this deck, there's a very big entanglement of snakes. So this person could feel like there are a lot of different stories. There's a lot of different explanations, excuses. This person, I'm getting one person more than the other, is willing to work with their energies more because we have all these snakes entangled, and the card of key here is balance. So there's definitely one person more willing and able currently to work with this relationship. I see that there's one person in the mix that just doesn't seem very progressive. They don't seem very motivated to work with the energies. Now, if you are single and are looking, perhaps you've been looking for a while and that's kind of building up some frustration, some bitterness towards relationships, but also like you have your needs, okay? So for some of you, you could be out there just like really interacting with the dating scene, so be it. But a lot of people see you and they could think that like just the vibes that you're giving off could be very, very strong throughout June. So just be careful with what kind of emotions and, you know, what kind of energetic game it is, so to say, that you're trying to play in order to attract certain others. Because a lot of people see you and they might be a little bit afraid of you throughout the month of June just because of how strong you are in your own energies, but also that there could be a lot going on in your love life and relationships. When people see you, they think that you have multiple people that are around you that are trying to, you know, swoop in, but you're still kind of all on your own looking for that right one. And perhaps there's some stuff in your past too that's just kind of blocking you from moving on. But I'm getting that it's not necessarily that you're letting your exes or past relationships hold you back. You could still just be working through a lot of that stuff like we talked about earlier. And it seems like you're very, very confident in your own energies, but just don't try to come off too strong or too sour before you turn sweet, okay? So just saying that. But I will move on from the love life and relationships because I feel like there's so many perspectives out there and this is not meant to be a relationship specific spread. We'll move on to the career, finance, and education sector for you air signs. We have the Eight of Pentacles, very, very hard at work. I thought that came out earlier. And we also have the Queen of Swords. Okay, you guys are putting in some hours, putting in overtime with that Eight of Pentacles. And you could have more than one job because you guys definitely have more than one talent and ability. Perhaps you have more than one source of income. If you're only working one single job, then you are able to do a lot of different tasks, a lot of different... Wow, I can't think of what the different words are. You could work in one department one day and a different the next. For some of you with the Queen of Swords here, a lot of you guys could oversee a lot of other workers. Perhaps some of you are being put into more of a supervising or management kind of perspective or position is what I meant to say. Especially if this is something that you guys are trying to manifest, is this promotion or this ability. I would definitely say put in the hard work, show that you're able to be flexible in other areas of your workspace, that you have a deep understanding and knowledge of the process of if it's something that you guys are manufacturing, a product, a service, that you know the ins and the outs of not only the service, the product, but also everything that goes into it, where it comes from, when it comes in, what it's made out of. Just really study absolutely everything it is that you can know about the business or the works. And if you guys put in the hours and all of the work, it definitely shows a lot of recognition with this Queen of Swords here. Also being careful of any kind of drama in the workplace too, that we can see that with the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, that there can be a little bit of gossip in the workplace for the most part. And we also have the is this the Ace of Pentacles? It has to be. So this is supposed to be the page, I guess. The Page of Pentacles. Very hardworking, driven. This is going to further solidify. The page energy is always very young, youthful, willing to learn more, to study, to put in the extra hours in their books. And if you look at the ship here, I mean, it starts off very simple. Perhaps you can't even see it. But the boat starts off very rudimentary, and then it gets like intermediate and expert, and she's able to improve upon the building, the mechanics of this ship. So this is just going to show if you guys are willing to apply yourself. Now, this isn't just career and finance. This is also education for a lot of you guys. So with the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, a lot of you realistically could be graduating or could be going on to further schooling. So there could be a sense of completion, of accomplishment throughout the past 8 months of really hard work. Whew, a lot of you guys studied different subjects, had to do different hands-on materials, and you learned a lot, and you guys absorbed even more. Perhaps you even spent your own time outside of studies in the classroom, of getting to learn more of how you can apply this into the real world, and the world needs those gifts, okay? So keep on going with that. Dang, and we also have another Queen of Pentacles. Whew, you guys. So if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to learn more, earn more throughout the month of June 2021, this is the time to do it, okay? I wouldn't spend much time floating around in this heart chakra, love life, relationship. It seems a little bit more frequent blockages in there. And we do have a lot more movement in your forefront and in your mental space throughout the end of the month. You guys, it's great. Okay, so let me calm down a little bit. I'm getting excited for you. Whew. Yeah, a lot of you guys could have a really good knowing or feel really comfortable and safe and secure financially with where you are in your career, in your finances. A lot of you guys could be, reworking them or just paying close attention to how you spend your money, the flow of how it comes in and what you spend it on, how you can pretty much invest or flip items and money to make more. Because we went from the page, the very young, inspirational, someone who's very creative and able to apply those talents, to the Queen level of Pentacles. So this person just cashed in, okay? Very, very quickly. You went from a page to a queen. So that's like saying you went from a freshman level to a full senior, or an undergrad to a bachelor's, okay? You guys are really able to absorb a lot of materials and learn very fast when it's something that you're interested in, okay? And this is something that you guys are mentally stimulated by, and it's something that pertains a lot more to your day-to-day life that you want to see yourself doing in the future. You want to see yourself helping people for this health card that came out earlier. And this inner knowing, you guys feel like you're in alignment with your calling in life. A lot of you guys could be going into the healthcare field. Oof. That's very, very powerful, air signs. If you're trying to move through the business ladder, put in those hours, show that you know your stuff, that you know the ins and outs of every single detail. And don't be afraid to work a couple of extra hours just to show that, maybe you're not trying to overstretch yourself, but you know the value in the position and how much you can bring to the table. And by, maybe putting in those extra hours, you save either yourself from having to work more or work harder in the future. So it could definitely increase efficiency, not only in the workplace, but also in your own financial flow. especially if you're going to need those days off. You know, if you're trying to go on that vacation, that spiritual journey, holla. Okay. We will step forward into your spiritual development, your creativity, what's kind of being activated for you throughout June of 2021, of course. So, the first card that we have for your spiritual activation throughout June is Jupiter, more Sagittarius energies, very expansive, being called to other new places, spiritual journeys. Jupiter also rules, now I am not a doctor, okay, but the planet Jupiter rules like our blood circulation system, so like blood vessels, kidneys, I believe. Jupiter just rules blood, okay, we'll leave it at that. So that could be something to also keep in mind. But Jupiter is that expansive energy, that wanting more for yourself, accepting more of the gifts that come to you in this life, and making space for those to enter, because it looks like a lot of it still needs to be, a lot of closets still need to be cleaned out for you in order for these blessings to come down and fully integrate into your life, like I said. And we also have Libra, so Jupiter in Libra. Now, Libra is all about balance, of course, being the scales, the balance between masculine and feminine. This could be our relationships, both contractual, so like business relationships, and also our intimate personal relationships. So you could be wanting more from other people. The other people could be wanting more from you, and you might need to prioritize your own health, your own boundaries. And also in your workplace, I feel like they are asking more of you, and I feel like that might be the one appropriate place to apply that. Now, use your own discernment, but it seems like you have a lot of room for advancement in that area of finances, career, and education. And with Jupiter in Libra, I could definitely see any kind of a vacation, again, that spiritual travel, that calling that you're feeling. That trip alone can teach you a lot, okay? So whatever it is that you're trying to do, stay open to whatever experiences that you have, even the unexpected twists and turns that come with travel, okay? We also have the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups. So for some of you, you could be, trying to mend relationships of the past. You could be trying to really put in a lot of work with this heart chakra energy, your love life, your relationships that you're currently in. And what I'm getting here too is that, some relationships, although they may be very difficult, we can still have a sense that they are, worth fighting for. And I feel like with the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups is that you can't forcibly change someone. You can't make them drink their own medicine. But what you can do is just constantly show your love and your universal support for this other soul, this other entity, and show that you're just always going to be there for them. In a lot of relationships, if they do end, a little bit salty, things can change. People do change. And with this Jupiter in Libra, it really has a realization that over time, people can change quite a bit, okay? And they can change for the better. And I feel like as long as you are holding this positive energy towards them, a lot of people can come around to that. But we cannot force this healing in these other people as well. With the Two of Cups and Six of Cups, you could be, again, like I said, interacting with people from your past, but I'm also getting family members, extended family members you could be coming into reunion with, seeing friends or family that it's been quite a long time since you have seen or been in contact with. Wow. a lot of friendships here. I'm picking up on a lot of friendship energy with the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. It's not necessarily more of an intimate connection as I was picking up. Yeah, I feel like these friends or this significant person that you have in your life, which I felt showed up as the Temperance card, that kind of gave you this really good advice, this piece of hope. Perhaps it's even just like someone on the internet, literally, someone you don't really know, or someone inspirational, a motivational speaker that you can come into contact with that can really give you a sense that you're able to accept a lot more of what the universe has to teach and also has to offer you, and how you can really become in alignment and become balanced within yourself. Kind of give yourself again that fresh slate, that kickstart. There's a lot of karma coming through here as well. So for the month of June, how you decide to maneuver and use your own energies, how you decide to react to other people can definitely play into your karma. So be careful with that, especially with relationships. If children are even testing you, if your significant other is testing you, just be careful with how you allow yourself to feel and react to those energies, because it could come back. It could come back to you either way. So that also came through with the Virtue and the Sacrifice card for your biggest blockages, is that it could be really hard for you to not let your emotions get the best of you, okay? And I feel like you guys are in such a good place right now where you're finally tying things up. You're getting on better terms with yourself and with others. Don't let them take it from you. All right, and then we're going to end up your energies with just some advice from Spirit for what energies and crystals that you can reach out to help you throughout the month. We have kyanite, which we do have blue kyanite right here. This bad boy. Or girl, you know. It's just kyanite. It's really one of my favorites. We have kyanite. Make time for self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential right now. As we were saying, because you guys are, I feel like you're sitting pretty well. It's almost like the beginning of an opening for you guys. Like you're sitting right at the edge of a well even, and it's almost like your legs are in. I don't want to say a well because that's kind of like a scary thought to have, okay? Scary, exciting maybe. But you guys are like right on the verge of really perfecting a part of yourself that has had some jaded aspect to it, okay? That's had a hard time fully accepting and allowing things to come in, maybe that you didn't feel like you were able to accept by society's terms, by any other person around you. If they told you that you couldn't do something, if they told you that, you know, you weren't the type of person for this position, or you weren't the type of person to do this with your life. You're really getting past all of that, and you're really mending things with yourself and showing that you're able to accept whatever it is that comes your way, and that you are worthy of these surprises that the universe has for you, okay? So don't let yourself block out any of that. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, your health, your well-being, staying hydrated. Because for some of you, I'm feeling like there's a lot of tears coming out throughout the month. We also have We Are One, Quaking Aspen. So, although you may move apart from some people, whether that's in your intimate relationships, from relationships you had in your childhood, even past family members. Even though you have moved apart, I feel like they still keep you in their mind, in their energy, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. There's a really deep connection here. And Spirit's saying if you're able to ground yourself, because there is a lot of higher chakra energies, very emotional, overwhelming kind of stuff going on here, that if you really focus on grounding yourself in, picture this image of just like two separate trees with their roots coming together as one and like holding hands. It's kind of a cute picture, you know? Envisioning stuff like that and really working towards grounding yourself can help you bring more peace with any kind of separation or issues that you're having with someone, especially if you're just not on the same page, if there's some kind of miscommunications going on. That can really help in holding this relationship in high regards and feeling as if you are safe on your own and that you are also safe within your connections. And sending that same energy to anyone else involved too. Maybe your person in mind, they don't feel safe in their own energies. They don't feel safe even in their closest connections, okay? So just trying to work with those energies. Now to finish this reading up, we're going to take a look at 3 archetype cards that are just going to show us who you may be interacting with throughout June of 2021. So maybe some of these characterizations, I think that's the right word. If any of them pop off to you, maybe you might recognize them. Now, who are the air signs closest to throughout the month of June 2021? We have the Beggar in reverse. So the shadow attributes say dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. So I was picking up, I felt like this wasn't really your energy. I felt like it was more like the people that you're holding in mind, and also the one that showed up as the King of Vessels, the very stagnant, stoic, stand in place, don't really think or feel much or work through any kind of confrontation energy. You could feel like maybe you have to beg this person to change or to face the facts and the realities of situation. Now, this person had a shadow attribute of dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. So this person would want you to do all of the work. Maybe you're putting in all of the hours and all of the effort into the relationship, but this person's just not giving you much back. Okay, so just be aware of that. That's where that person stands. We also have Judge in reverse. So the shadow attributes here say offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So that did come out in the reverse. So I feel like this is again pertaining to the career, finance, and education field, that there was a little bit of talk, a little bit of gossip going on. So maybe someone brings word to your superiors and tries to misuse their authority to kind of try to jeopardize your success and also your efforts that you've put in. So just be aware of that. We could just also have someone being very untruthful with you about who they are, and they could be trying to show that maybe they have less than what they actually do just to try to draw more from you, whether that's, emotionally, energetically, financially. Be aware of that. And then we have the last card, Addict. So it says helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. So that could play into any of those other 2 cards, but also it could be a separate person that helps you recognize. And I feel like that's this Temperance card here, the Sagittarius energy. This could also just be your spirit guides, your intuition really speaking through you, giving you this healing and this sense of inner knowing, so to say, that you have. that you're really able to recognize other people's behaviors, their intentions, or at least figure out how you're going to work through this situation. You could realize that maybe you've just been addicted to someone energetically. Now with the love life and relationships was definitely flowing through that with the balance card. You could be really intertwined with this person, and you could feel like maybe this person is the other half to your whole, that you guys are definite matches, you're meant to be. But although you may be facing certain kind of challenges, it's just something that always keeps you coming back because you feel like you really love this person, that you have a sense of hope that they will change over time. And I'm getting that, you know, people do change and it doesn't always happen right away. So just be careful of that. Sometimes it requires separational periods and releases in order to allow it to come back to you if it's meant to be in time. But with the helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, what I was trying to say is that I felt like this character, this person, or this intuition and spirit guide is really what helps you step into your power to address these kind of energies that you might be facing with certain people in relationships, connections that you're having in your life. And I think that pretty much wraps everything up that I have for you guys, air signs, Geminis, Libras, Aquariuses, and even if you are cross-watching for someone who has these signs, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you, what you're really looking forward to in the month of June. Give the video a like, and don't forget, if you subscribe, you can actually vote on my community page here on YouTube to see what videos I post next. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.